It's that time again. Listen, I seen that Robert Allen was arrested at his sister's house in Atlanta, Georgia. I told you guys, I want you to know, yes, everything I speak of is not fact, solid fact, but it is in the same realm of what happens. I've studied this stuff for a long time. I'm very good at thinking like a criminal thinks and thinking how investigators think. That's part of what Czar All Rights Reserve is. So now you're starting to get the picture on how things form. He was arrested at his sister's house in Atlanta, Georgia, which we talked about the relative factor yesterday. So because he turned himself into how he did and they followed up on this thing, she's probably fine. So Robert Allen, don't worry about your sister. She's probably going to be okay in this situation. You did the right thing. You also claimed you wanted to tell the truth and that you weren't fearful of the issue of being arrested. That's fine. Now, I'm gonna go into detail because you did the right thing, and there is still one still on the run, Trayvon Newsom. We're gonna talk about this. So, Trayvon, I know you've seen that these other guys. Listen, face your accuser. I'm gonna say this right now. Black men, stop running. Stop running. Whenever there's some case against you, stop running. Get a lawyer and you'll beat most of your cases. Honestly, if most of you would stop running and face your accuser, you'd be winning most of your cases. Because what you don't understand is there's a certain level of evidence that even needs to be placed against you. Don't take a free lawyer. I'm not going to say that again. This is the last time I'm saying that. Don't take no free lawyer. You always buy a lawyer. You buy a lawyer. Because there's multiple reasons you want to buy a lawyer. Now, let me say one of the main reasons you want to buy a lawyer is because you do not want to be in a situation where they're trying to make deals behind the scenes and not telling you. Yes, I told you guys a long time ago, I caught one of my lawyers making deals behind the scenes. I told you guys that multiple times. I tell the story back to back. I'm not afraid to tell that story. And when I seen that, I realized immediately what it was. It was a business, and that the whole goal was to get money out of a person into the system. That's how it works. I explain this so much. I explain this all the time. I always give you guys that image. I don't withhold information. You see something I talked about yesterday came true. Do you understand how this works? I give you facts. That's what I do. Now, back to the factor. We're away from the relative factor, and to be honest, they're probably going to find a similar situation for Trayvon Newsom somewhere. So Trayvon, my thing is, he said he wanted to tell the truth and what's going on. First off, Robert Allen, don't say a word. That is not what you do. You don't speak. Don't whisper nothing. Okay? Don't cough and say something. And I get what you're saying. Label the snitch. I understand that. Because what happens is everyone that gets caught, when someone else gets caught, they're like, oh, someone's telling. That is not the case sometimes. I look at the videos back to back. I tell you there's multiple outlets of intel that authorities aren't dumb. If I've been training in something for 20 to 30 years, you think I'm an idiot? I literally have connections. I literally have networks and understandings and reach to people you may never know. It could be a bum on the street, a guy acting like a bum, and they're going to tell me when they see someone similar to you walk by. It's that simple. I know you see it in movies and stuff, but it's really not a joke. It's really not a game. Look, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. The first thing you do is you contact your sister, your family. You work up the money to put a down payment for a lawyer. If there's any truths that need to be told, let it come out in the evidence, and then we'll see how it works through. Because of you, all I do is see whether you're flashing money on camera or not. All I do is I see a video of you walking. How is that evidence? It's a video of you walking. Don't speak unless you're in a situation where you have a lawyer and you talk to that lawyer and he tells you you can speak. Okay? Don't say nothing. Now we're dealing with the other guy. It's best to face your accuser. I'm not going to tell you this again. This is the last time I'm going to even say it on cam. There's no reason for me to keep telling you guys this. We're just going to talk about situations. I don't think I need to tell you this. You should know this. People have to stop running. turning their back and running. No, stand there, whether you think you were and not. Learn your laws. Learn that you have the right to deny some options that are given to you by authorities. And if they overstep it, they just fight it in court. That's what they do. They send you to a court situation to pay money, because that is how the state makes their money. It's all a system. You do not let that deter you from doing anything. If you're riding around, ride with your windows all the way up. Follow traffic laws. That's all. If you get stopped, you know you were following traffic laws, so you need a legit reason why you were stopped, period. Okay? The simple things. We're down to the basics. The basics. It's time to get back to the basics. That's what I'm saying. I'm not worried about this other stuff. I'm worried because I know who's filling the prisons. I know who they're targeting. I get this. But when I speak to you, it's for a reason. Because listen, I know of many white cops that are breaking the law. I'm just going to say it. You want to say it's mostly filled with blacks? I know cops breaking the law. I know it. But they're never going to stand apparent for their laws because they have the connections to do so. That's where their power lies. That's where their power lies. But your power still lies in the Constitution. Understand that. Doesn't matter who's breaking what laws. Understand your Constitution. Understand your laws. And know when you become a parolee is when your laws are basically compromised. That's the moment it's compromised. Until you lose that parolee status, you're fine. Come on. Now let's get back to it. My thing is, we need to focus on what's actually developing here. He said he wants to tell the truth, but he doesn't want to tell. That doesn't tell us anything. That doesn't say anything. So at this moment, get your lawyer and stand your ground. You're from Florida. You know the law. It's not just, oh, I'm going to pull my thing out and shoot. Listen, I just seen a man that got pushed to the ground. He pulled a gun out and shot someone, and they're trying to say that that's fine. Listen, stand your ground there. Don't run from your accuser. There are crazy things going on, and these court cases can be used again as evidence for you standing your ground in most situations, because that's crazy. An unarmed man, he gets up and shoots the man who's unarmed because he got pushed to the ground. That is crazy. That's crazy. And I don't need to tell you the race. You already know the race is involved. I don't need to tell you that. But what we're going to talk about, once again, is that we discussed the evidence. We discussed the lying witness in this situation. I think the truth he's trying to tell is something far darker than we know of. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Yes, he was captured. Yes, he was allegedly on the run. See, I have to prove you're on the run. You could have went to Atlanta, Georgia for a vacation and wasn't paying attention to social media to see what was going on. You weren't looking on the news. You didn't know that you were wanted. It didn't even know that's the situation. See, that is why you get a lawyer. Do you understand me? I don't know if you guys watched my video. It's crazy because yesterday, a day after I actually told you about the relative factor, you were found and turned in. So that's crazy. But I'm not worried about that. My worry is that you guys understand your laws, you enact on them, and you realize you got as much rights in this country as that cop that slides down the street, picks up cocaine every single weekend, and then rides to work on Monday. And I already told you to hold your peace, or I'll drop your name. I told you that, because Czar knows, trust me. I know. Just like you got networking connections, I got them too, buddy. I know who you are. That's what I'm saying. I know too much about that stuff. That's why I'm telling you, especially as an African-American man, you need to stand your ground. Don't run from these guys. Don't run nowhere. Nowhere. For nothing. What are you running from? He's held to the same standards as you. So what? He has a badge on. I guarantee he's doing worse stuff, as I know some are. That's why I'm telling you, don't worry. There's a system to this stuff. There's a process. I can't take away your due process in constitutional law because I don't like your race. I can't take that away. I can try and violate you, but I have to answer for that. Even if I don't answer for it in the way I should, I still look bad because I don't get the conviction because it shows prejudice in my actions. I can't tell you how many times that's occurred to me. Come on. I'm trying to educate everyone on this. That's what my goal is. That's why it's all rights reserved. Understand that. Your rights are reserved in this country. You had ancestors that died, were whipped. What are they still going to make the heritage and the genetic line suffer for what their ancestors did? But you should have pride for what your ancestors did and walk around with your chest out knowing that you're doing the right thing. That's what it's about. That's why these guys need to change up your lifestyles. Once you allegedly, or if you're allowed to retain your freedom, change your life and do what's right, because you earned the right to make money in peace, to have confidence of achieving the goals you set out. That's what it's about. I don't give a, listen, no racist has ever made me feel any type of way. I don't care. But I will speak up about it. You know, I'm not just going to let someone come across me, do something weird because they don't like how I look. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I never have, and I won't. Because I earned my rights, just like I earned this education. You can't take that from me. Go get an education. No one can take it from you. Once you get it, who can take it? How can I take what you learned? How can they take what I learned here? This knowledge I spit to you guys, who can take it? There's no such thing as an MIB Zap Ray or something like that to take away my knowledge, make me forget stuff. Like, you guys need to stand your ground and stand stronger than ever. I want to see what's going to happen, but I want to see if this case was true. And we got some other stuff to talk about, but that's for another time. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.